It was a night to remember for all Spurs fans at White Hart Lane yesterday. Flav was there, as you can see by his bloodshot eyes. But what next for Spurs? You've had a great final season, won the last 14 home games, unbeaten in the league at home this season. But is this the launch pad to Spurs being one of the top teams in Europe? Or is this as good as it gets, and is it all down here from here?
I mean, it's all down here from here. I mean, I couldn't. Like, yesterday was one of the best days of my life going to Spurs. Like the single greatest football moment of my life. It was
Why?
Did you not like White Hart Lane?
Yeah, celebrating. It's over.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you put the best moment into words? It was just magic. It was what for people.
But why was it the best? Because it was just the last game of the season. Now you're going to be playing on a different pitch. If you want to be cynical.
Yes, right. I was about to flip the table. It was like, there was so much positivity there, right? And in the football ground, you always hear naysayers and whinging and people complaining about stuff. And it helped that we smashed United, even though it was 2-1, but they were pretty pony. But it was just so much positive energy, and the atmosphere was the best I've ever been a part of, and I knew it was going to be like that, but I didn't realise it would be as loud. And my head was pounding at the end of it, but I could not sing, even though I had tears running from pain from my headache. It was.
All right, you went like.
Yeah, do you know what?
Wasn't emotional.
I was a lot less emotional
hurts.
than I thought I was going to be. Afterwards. I was just like, yeah, this was all right. It's time to go. We're into this new stadium, and we'll see. But to answer your question, sorry, it's going to be difficult. But and I think a lot of people are hoping it goes wrong for Tottenham. We're getting a lot of stick about Wembley. We're getting a lot of. I'm good. I'm glad. I love finally people don't look at Tottenham and think, that's easy 3 points. That just can be dismissed. Everyone hates us again, and that's the way it should be. So it's going to be difficult, but we do have one of the best managers in Europe, in my opinion. And a big pitch isn't going to stop Pochettino from succeeding. That said, we have to be realistic. We're giving up our home advantage. We are moving to Wembley. It's going to take a while for that to become our home, if it ever does. But we've got 11 excellent, 12 or 13 top draw players, and we'll be adding to that squad. No pitch, no stadium will change the fact that we've got a great manager and some really very good players.
Do you think this? Obviously, there's always those worries of moving somewhere different, and I know it's only for a season, and I guess when you come back, it will be the same, but it won't be the same.
Yeah.
But all that disruption, you saw at West Ham this season, and that was with a manager that they were excited about. Can the quality of Pochettino override that?
It's going to be difficult for Tottenham. I think it's a case of 2 steps backwards, 3 paces forwards. Chelsea, obviously we've got the big rivalry with Chelsea and Tottenham, but as a neutral, if I wasn't such a big Chelsea fan, I would say Tottenham will struggle to match what they have done this season. Yeah. They've been a great team to watch. I hate to say it, but they've been one of the best teams to watch this season. I've enjoyed watching them play because they do play with such flair. But I think they will struggle at Wembley. They struggled against a brilliant Monaco side, a great Monaco side. They struggled against Genk. And I think it's going to be tough. To win or to be unbeaten at White Hart Lane was a huge achievement, and I can't see them being. I mean, the odds of them being unbeaten at Wembley next season is going to be huge.
I think the results at Wembley have been bad. The performances haven't been. We played well against Chelsea. I still can't explain that result. We played really well. We didn't deserve to get thumped.
That's true, yeah.
Monaco, I didn't realise how good Monaco were at the side, but we weren't a better team in that game. CSKA Moscow, obviously, they're not very good, but we demolished them. So our performances at Wembley haven't been bad. People are holding on, focusing on the results.
But if you forget that, I think you're still going somewhere, and this was what we chatted with Nicky, didn't we? It feels weird, and it isn't the same, and then the pitch is different, and then that creates this whole horrible feeling that the fans feel. And then when it starts to not go your way, then the players get a bit anxious, and I think it all accumulates. And the other problem West Ham fans have had is that at Upton Park, you knew where to go if you wanted to sing. Yeah. You knew where you needed to be.
Yeah.
Whereas with a bigger stadium, it's a lot tougher, and it can be disjointed. And you'll have fans there who aren't as desperate to be there as they would be if it was at a smaller stadium, because it's harder to get in there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's the biggest worry, actually, is the atmosphere at Wembley. It's too big. Like, literally, it's too big. You start singing, someone, there's the other part of the ground started another song, or it's out of time. That's going to be a nightmare. But look, it's not. It has to be done. There is no alternative here. We've got to go, right? We're building a new stadium. We've got to just get on with it. There's no point complaining about whether or not the atmosphere is going to be good or that we have to play at Wembley. It has to be done. We may struggle, but we may well not. You keep saying about West Ham. West Ham squad is not Tottenham squad. We can.
That's a very good point. 24
Benitez
goals.
and Pochettino. And I'm not belittling West Ham. They're going to watch this and get annoyed. It's just we're different kettle. It's two different kettles.
Can I just ask, because Chelsea are going to have that problem soon in a few years' time. We're going to have to, Stamford Bridge to be rebuilt and stuff, and we're going to get reallocated at some point. But I have more confidence in Chelsea performing at the utmost top level, playing at another ground week in, week out, rather than Stamford Bridge, than I would do with Tottenham going to Wembley. Do you not think?
Why?
Why?
Because I just
better
think
players.
Better players.
No, exactly what you said about West Ham, though.
But is that based on what Tottenham have done previously, or what we've done at Wembley this year?
I think based on our squad, because our squad is so good, I think our second 11 could end up in the top half of the table quite easily.
Do you think Chelsea players are a bit more bulletproof to a lack of atmosphere or a different atmosphere?
What?
It's like, I just spent shit.
No, I'm saying.
Fans,
so Spurs have got the youngest squad in the whole Premier League, right? A lot of English guys in there as well. They got Pochettino as their father figure. The Spurs fans all love them. I think they're not as kind of clinical as professionals as Chelsea are, and Spurs have had this incredible season. And there are parallels to West Ham, because West Ham were amazing at home in their last season, and a reason for that, I believe, was the feeling of goodwill of like, this is the last year, and you give that little bit of extra. I think Chelsea players are a bit more clinical, and I don't think they'd be, and I don't think the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge is as good.
I think wherever Chelsea have played, whether it's home or away, I think they're clinical. I don't think they've had to rely on their home form to win leagues all the time, because their away form has been just as good. Like this season as well, our away form has been fantastic. I think Tottenham have had the best home form. I think we've probably had the best away form. So I would have more confidence in Chelsea doing well wherever they played than I would Spurs.
What do you think, Chris?
My issue around it is, I think ultimately Tottenham will be a top tier team for a long time, because the way that they've built the club, the way that they've got the young squad, if they can keep it together, they'll be a force. They've got a great manager. Daniel Levy's doing a great job as well behind the scenes. I think of it more from the opposition. Now, we were at West Ham yesterday, obviously the first time I'd been there. West Ham's ground is an event stadium. Wembley is an event stadium. You're given over, like you said before, your home advantage. The atmosphere is not as good. Sound, but the players can deal with that. But what's the pitch going to be like for an entire season? Nobody's ever done that at Wembley. Can they keep that pitch to a good level? So many games more than they're used to. The groundsmen going to be able to do that. What from an opposition player? You go to Wembley. There's a huge thing around going to Wembley as a player. They'll want to step up and perform on the biggest stage in England. Every single opposition player will want to do that every single week. True. So, the pitch is good. Tottenham have got good players, but you're giving a lift to the opponents, and that's my worry for them.
Look, just so I can, no Tottenham fans expecting us to go on and win the league next year. We appreciate that there's going to be an impact.
Yeah.
But I just don't. There's talk on Twitter about us falling apart.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Well, no, exactly.
But I think unfortunately there will be. Because you've done well, that means expectations raise, and there will be a different and a new pressure on Spurs, because you've got a decent team, so they expect you to do well, regardless of where you play.
But I think you'd be a fool to not consider Wembley to be an issue. It's just how big an issue. I don't think that'll stop people, mate.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if people want to live their lives that way, it's up to them. If they probably won't enjoy next season because it's going to be difficult.
Do you think you'd be happier? Can I just ask you this? You'd be happy if Tottenham had a ground share with somewhere, for example, like Milton Keynes, or somewhere that's closer to London that wasn't Wembley? A smaller stadium where the atmosphere could be generated quite easily with packing with maybe at Watford, something that was.
Yeah, I think that was discussed, and resoundingly Wembley was the choice. But in hindsight, though, having played there, I'd much prefer to be in a smaller stadium.
Yeah.
But not MK Dons.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
But say for example, I don't.
But I understand the suggestion.
Just see what I mean?
Just not them.
I think you'd be a lot.
But it might be, you know, I don't know.
You'd be a lot happier, I think, as fans.
Yeah,
in a smaller stadium.
Yeah, because it's odd. It's an odd feeling going to Wembley. I didn't enjoy it at all. At all. When I'm not looking forward to playing there next year. Not because I don't think the team performed. It's just not our ground. It's not home. It's like playing an away game. But it has to be done. So just got to get on with it. Yeah. Next the season afterwards, we're going to.
Do you know what the allocations are going to be for away fans and stuff? Are they going to be massive, or are they going to keep it like 2,000?
Police. I don't think the police allow it. I think it's around 5,000. I think that's
a lot of away fans every single game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aside from the move, you've got the best squad I feel Graham Souness was saying on Sky, so that's the best squad he's ever seen at Spurs. What, in terms of what's next for Spurs, right, do you not think it's the best?
No, I think we're a good 12, 13 players, 14, you know, but we can improve.
Right.
We will improve this.
Well, that's the question I want to ask.
We can't make two signings like Musa Sissoko and Vincent Janssen.
Yeah, but those key men, right? So again, you've got the youngest squad in
£45 million that is down the drain.
Really? That is crap, isn't it?
That is crap. But, you know, lots of good going out of Tottenham. I don't want to be too harsh. Yeah. Maybe they'll be great next year.
But so Kane and Ali are two main guys, right?
Yeah. Well, in forward sense, yeah.
How much further can they go? How much more can they improve, do you think? Because you know, Wembley can be there or not. It's about the players on the pitch, and those are the two main men. Are they? Can they go another step higher?
I guess.
Because they have this year.
Yeah, of course. But Ali's the most improved player at Tottenham this year. He's gone from raw material to being class, seeing things I didn't think I would see in him. And Kane, he's probably how can he get better? I don't know. I don't know how he could get better.
Maybe he gets faster. But that's not.
He's worked on that, hasn't he? Actually.
Yeah, I mean he's powerful. He's not like lightning fast, but he's powerful. Hard to get the ball off. He's hold up plays. He's just a really good forward. If it's just consistency, that's all he needs to do. Because what more can you ask of a player than you know? If he's scoring more than 30 goals a season, then he's in the brackets of Ronaldo and Messi.
And that's in the Champions League.
And that's almost too much to expect. But you know, he scores goals against the big teams. He's very, you know, he has field days against the smaller teams at White Hart Lane. I guess for him, the next step would be to, you know, start scoring in the Champions League and drive us on. But I'm not expecting anything more than what he's done. He's done enough. He's amazing.
Okay, right. What do you think about Spurs? How are they going to get on next season when they go to Wembley? Where are they going to finish next season? Early predictions, do it in the comments below. We're going to be talking about Man United to see how far away they are from winning the title. Obviously, their league form's not great, but they've got a Europa League final on its way. So we're going to be chatting to Sam from United Peoples about that. Check out all the Social Club videos this week, and we'll see you on the next video.